guess you probably. I look at it as,
well,
as a spectator. You're a photographer.
There's no
How do you see
book
this
for this anymore?
Yeah.
Like when I came into it, I was like, looks like a lot of these people are having fun, taking pictures, going to events, you know, good times.
Yeah.
And these are some influential individuals. You know, it's all across the board. Like I meet presidents, and I meet models, and I meet musicians and actors and authors. And
Nick's being too humble right now, so as his boy I have to kind of check him on that, and I just want to like point out there's a very important picture that you took very recently that I know you wouldn't bring up on your own because you are a gentleman, but one that's actually very important of Aretha Franklin, is there not? Can you explain the story of the Aretha shot? Just because I think it's important. I think it's beautiful. You feel me?
I know. It
and I think
carries
it's a story,
lot of weight. That's
it
why.
does. It's heavy, and I'm sorry if it's too heavy, but it's a story I think people need to hear, and it's really beautiful.
Chelsea's getting a little too close here.
We're watching Chelsea Liverpool right now, by the way. Yeah, so tell us about the Aretha shot.
Well, I was shooting an event uptown, 100 and something street at the St. John the Divine. It was the Elton John event, and he's got a big AIDS foundation. He's been running for 20 some odd years. This might have been the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary. I can't exactly remember, but either way, it's been a long time. You know, most of my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was sort of saying, well, maybe I didn't say it, but you know, one event after another, you don't really think anything's going to be too special, you know. Or there are moments, but you know, you get uptown, it's raining, it's just, it's like 7 o'clock, the thing hasn't even started. Like, let's just get this over with.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it was a nice event. There was some fun people there, Elton and like Bill Clinton, and Billy Joel and Clive Davis and Alec Baldwin. I don't even remember who else. A couple other folks of note, and oh God, and sorry, that distracted me. Yeah, and they had a musical guest, and they didn't tell us who it was for a while, and like they made a bunch of speeches, and they're very emotional speeches and everything. You know, in this big church, it was really getting heavy, and Elton made a heavy speech about a friend of his who had recently passed too, and I like worked for her in association. Like she didn't know me directly, but she was an editor at Interview magazine. Her name was Ingrid Sishi, and they made some very sweet comments about her and so on and so forth. And then he announced Aretha Franklin was going to perform, and for me that was like top of my top. Anybody that I could still see, like if I could have seen just to see them, but now I'm like front and center, as if like if I were to be in a pit at some stadium, like I'm now in a church, like at the foot of the stage, and here she comes and
Incredible.
Starts just dropping classics, and it was the best experience ever because it was just, it hit home for so many different reasons, and in my home city, and you know, that church uptown, gone to a bunch in my life, and didn't think she was around for that, you know, and it was just, yeah, you know, I could mumble and keep talking about that, but I got to take some fun photos, and for a lot of the time, like, she was really giving me like straight on eye contact, which you don't really get, but because it was so intimate, you know, maybe this performance, she just kind of thought, you know, that's the photographer, that's who I'm going to look at, like, you know, and I'll look up and look back at him and up and, you know, look at the people, and I didn't really understand, though, why I was getting so much love, and then, like, I put my camera down and I started taking a video because she started playing Bridge Over Troubled Water, and it was, you know, the piano, and it's front and center, and the whole fucking thing. You can't really see in the video because it, you know, the light compensates, so it's dim, the background's dim, but like the whole church behind it was,
it's magic.
It was definitely magic. It was just, yeah, it was surreal, and and then I'm taking a long video, and then finally I'm like, all right, I should start taking some photos. And I look to my side, and then like boom, Elton John like came from his table, and he's standing right next to me. So I like caught him in the video, and he does a little moment, closes his eyes and smiles, and I was like, all right, that's enough of like invasion of privacy. You know?
Yeah.
I got that moment, and then I snapped the video or photo, and he turned, and I kind of, it definitely is an acknowledgement, but I don't know really if he was posing or if he was just sort of giving me the opportunity, and that was nice. And then
it's a beautiful shot as well. I've seen that.
Yeah, that was cool. It's a little available light shot, and with the Fuji, shout out Fuji, because that's my favorite camera, and then it occurred to me, like that's why Aretha's been looking right next to me. It's because Elton John's been here the whole time.
You thought she was
and
looking
so
at you?
and I was just like, okay, well that explains it, and that's nice. Like what a what a good situation to sort of happen,
mm-hmm.
For my benefit, and like for me to just for that to happen organically, and that's like for a photographer to not to have to like contrive and put something together, and it's just is that serendipitous. It was just again another moment on top of a moment, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this guy some space, and I didn't even realize I was allowed to be here this long anyway. Fucking Chelsea. Alright, and as I'm like about to bounce, he's giving me a look, and I like look back at him, and then I'm like, okay, I'm assuming that's the like you can go over there look, because it's Sir Elton.
Yeah, shout out.
And
Sir Elton.
Yeah, he's the man.
Legend.
No shade, just like all right,
absolutely.
This is your thing. I'm not gonna give you.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to overstep.
I'm like
I will bow out.
And then he lunges in, not like lunge, but he steps in. Shorter guy, gets me by the shoulder.
He's very tall, by the way.
Yeah, and gets me by the shoulder, and he just brings me in, and I was like, I'm like, he's gonna tell me like maybe I should go over there. And then he comes, and then he says to me, he's just like, isn't this the most magical night of your life? Something of the sort. I have it written down because I had to like remember that verbatim. But either way, I was just like, oh yeah, it was spectacular until Elton John asked me how great my night was going, and and then I don't know what to fucking say. But I said to him, I was like, words, could describe it. Like you have no idea, and he gave me the look, like I think I get what you mean there, and then I did sort of like trek back a bit, but at that point I turned around and I also realized like people are now sort of flooding the stage, so fair game. Which like all of a sudden like boom, the whole room was at the stage, but I had a good like 20 minutes solo, or at least with him, and that all together just sort of summed up any moment in this job in which I couldn't have expected that to ever happen. And it's it's like, okay, one person said something, I saw one person perform, like that's life. I don't want to make it seem like this is the most magical experience ever. I'm not saving lives here. I'm not doing anything really important, but I got to experience and be a part of something that now I know has been capsulated in time. Not particularly my experience, but some of the images I got to take of her, and I'm honored. I mean, I got the screenshots when I googled Aretha Franklin. It's the first picture to show up is mine. I'm like, that's something
epic.
I want to like sort of have in a tear sheet somewhere, like, just so like the most current and looked at and used photo of Aretha Franklin is used by Nicholas Hunt. I'll take that. Like I'll take that, and I don't have to do anything else with my life. I'll go farm. I'm good. Like
being able to capture Aretha Franklin's last show. That's wild. And being able to capture that moment.
Having a video of that moment too, for me,
But then also through your platform and through your company, that photo being, or those photos being the ones that everyone all around the world started to use when she passed away. That's just such a it's such an honor as a photographer, and it's such a
it's an
as
honor.
a human, really.
Yeah.
But I guess
No, I mean that
super
too.
goals
That
for
too.
a
Like
photographer in that
impacts
realm.
that she's made and the steps that she's taken for causes.
It's crazy.
In eras I was no more of a, not even a thought in my parents' minds ever. I know that. I know that for certain.
Yeah.
At least on one side. Yeah. So like to grow up and then appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. It's not like I'm, you know, oh my God, it's Aretha, like the queen. Like, no, I fucks with Aretha my whole damn life. Like,
we definitely smoked some blunts and listened to some Aretha back in the day in high school.
And
vibes.
I will never not think of my mom when I hear of Aretha. Not that, you know, not that there's anything morbidly to feel about my mother, but just
of course.
Yeah, my mom, you know, pantomiming, you know, the whole song and doing her thing in the church, and I'm just like, all right, there's that teenager that grew up with this shit that and I'm a kid, kind of like, Mom, this is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing these things?
And look what it did.
Yeah. Well, then realizing, you know, how many damn rap songs I love have fucking Aretha tracks on it. Yeah, I mean, Spirit, like, some Spaceship. No, actually, that's Marvin Gaye. But anyway, Daydreaming, yada yada yada. There's 1,000 of them, and and then realizing like the core of that is this amazing woman.
But yeah, that's an epic shot.
Yeah.
It's a moment that actually literally, and I can say literally and actually mean it, literally go down in history.
Literally,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hope this. I don't know. I mean, the time sort of passed, but I never really got to see it well, somebody sent me a picture of one of the pictures in print. But it was used in like an article collage, multi photographs. But that was also like, oh, there's like her, you know, in 60s, shot by yada yada, and then so on and so on, and then there's one of mine. I'm like, okay.